Welcome to Slayer the Alchemist, and welcome to another edition of No Metal Monday. This is where we get together with you on Mondays to talk all things not heavy metal and hard rock. And for today's episode, I wanted to talk about the band, and specifically their second studio album, their self-titled album. Kind of strange to have your second album be your self-titled record. The band are a Canadian-American rock band. Drummer-singer Levon Helm is the only American in the band. They got their start as the backing band for Bob Dylan on his first Bob Dylan Electric. When Bob Dylan went electric, they were his backing band, and they just took that name, the band, and went with it. I've always been a big fan of them because they have kind of this folksy, melodic feel and sound to them, roots rock, Americana, you could say, even though most of the guys are from Canada, but I'm pretty sure they're pretty influential on that scene. It's also great. I always love them too because they have a lot of great vocals. The background vocals are fantastic, but the three main singers, Rick Danko on bass, he has this really high-pitched, falsetto-y type of voice. Reminds me of the bass player from the Eagles. So when the songs that he sings lead on, he has a very unique voice. He sings lead on When You Awake. Levon Helm, I've always loved his voice. I always thought he was a pretty cool drummer too. He has this sort of laid back Charlie Watts kind of style of playing, but he has this super cool kind of, I'm not exactly sure where he's from in America, but it sounds kind of Southern. He has a little bit of that Southern sound to him. The Night They Drove Old Dixie Down is a fantastic song, one of my favorite songs of all time. It's a song that I'm surprised, and maybe somebody has, that nobody has done a heavy metal cover of, because I think it would work really well. I just love the storytelling lyrics, and Levon's delivery in it is fantastic. Across the Great Divide features Richard Manuel, who plays piano. He has a really cool kind of unique voice. The three lead singers all kind of have their own little thing going on with their voices, and I think that that's pretty cool. Rag Mama Rag is a fun one. Another one in here I like. Up on Cripple Creek, Levon sings that one. That's another one that people might recognize, gets played on the radio. Love that kind of shuffle feel that he's got going on in that. The side two is not as good as side one. Jemima Surrender is pretty cool. Rockin' Chair is good, but then it kind of slows down a little bit. But this is kind of like Neil Young. Neil has this very acoustic kind of folksy. I think I did After the Gold Rush on a No Metal Monday. And this is kind of, and when I'm in that kind of mood, when I'm listening to acoustic Neil Young, I may bust this out also. I can't also recommend enough, if you've never seen the band The Last Waltz. It's a movie as well as a triple album. I have the album. It's at my son's place currently, but it's their last performance, and it is just filled with awesome guests that come up and perform with them. Paul Butterfield, Eric Clapton, Neil Diamond, Dr. John, Bob Dylan. Let's see who else. Joni Mitchell, Van Morrison does a fantastic tune. He's one of my favorite performances on here. Who else? Ringo Starr, Stephen Stills, Muddy Water, Ronnie Wood, Neil Young. So if you've never seen The Last Waltz, it's a great live show. They've got singers and other people backing them up, and it just sounds fantastic. The crowd is totally into that, their final performance. So yeah, I've always had a soft spot in my heart for the band. I like the kind of melodic, folksy rock nature of what they do, and some of the feels of their songs and everything, like Up on Cripple Creek and The Night They Drove Old Dixie Down. Great melodies, great harmonies, great singing. So let me know if anybody else out there likes the band here on No Metal Monday. I mean, I don't know if you can see that picture right there, but that just sort of gives you the vibe of what these guys are. Like, they record all their albums way up in the woods somewhere. Just great stuff. I love it. So let me know what you think of the band down below. Till we see you again, make sure you rock hard, ride free.